Going on, guys, NealGuides here. Welcome back to another squad builder. In today's video, a 1.5 million coin squad builder for formations for 4-3-3, 4-3-1, 4-4-2 and a 3-5-2. Now we're going to go with some new players that have been released, and most notably I want to go with this Dos Santos card. Don't forget as well, I do stream on twitch.tv/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. I do stream every single, or try to stream every single day, should I say. But let's go straight into the team. This Dos Santos card. Now, obviously there's loads of Dos Santos. The one we're looking for is the 77 rated. And it's Jonathan, I think it's Jonathan Dos Santos. He has a new card now, if I'm not mistaken. His new card is a formidable card. Now, the fact that his new card only costs around about, if I'm not mistaken, around about the price of 60k, I think it's amazing. 4-star, 4-star, high, perfect for a centre mid. In terms of stats, very good pace, good shooting, good passing, good dribbling, and actually very good defensive and physical work rates. If this guy was in the Premier League, probably be a million coins. Now the issue is, how do you fit such a formidable card in your team, especially when he has 4-star, 4-star, but he's MLS, so how do you do it? So the best way of doing it is by getting an icon in. So the first card we're going to put is Dos Santos. I don't think there's actually that many better midfielders than him in the game. All-round midfielders, I don't think anyone really comes close. High, formidable card. Even if you don't have him in your team, I'd say it's definitely worth doing as a sub. That way we're going to go get Nedved. Now Nedved is probably one of my favourite icons in the game. Has been for many years. I actually have the 86 Nedved in my squad, personally speaking. But I would recommend most definitely getting the new Nedved, the 89 one. The 89 Nedved, by the way, in case you're wondering, is actually the best player. The 86 is a tad bit better in terms of just pace. That is the only reason why the 86 version is better and better agility and balance. But the 89 version is probably the best all around. So what I'd say for you is to get the 89 Nedved. You can play him in CDM. He costs about 450k now. He was about 400k, but I think for that price, I don't think there's any other icon that's really worth it. Think about Nedved, for example. Very good composure, 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, another formidable card. And don't worry, I'll tell you in a second, or later on should I say, how everyone gets chemistry in game. I'll explain that and how everyone gets the best chemistry they can get as well. But Nedved, 4-star, 5-star, probably the most perfect cam. Got the agility, got the balance, got the stamina, got the passing, got the sprint speed. When you put a Hunter on him, he definitely becomes one of the best cards that money can buy. Now obviously joining this team together, the reason why this team is very expensive, should I say, that is probably due to 3 players. We've got Neymar on the team now. People always ask me this question, is Neymar that good? And what I would say is just look at his stats. There's no squad battles in these stats. There's no friendlies. This is just pure FUT champs and rivals. He's probably the best player in this game, the gold card. I think him and Ronaldo, I've got both Ronaldo and Neymar. I think Neymar is such a game changer that I honestly think if you got 900k right now, you sell your team, you buy Neymar, and you have trash around him. Because you might see all these pro players use these teams like R9 and bronze teams. Well, if you got one key striker, that striker can carry you. If you've got a bronze player up front, he's going to miss a lot of goals. But if you got someone like Neymar, he will shoot every single time in your score. It doesn't matter if you've got an 80 rated defender, as long as you got someone like Neymar, you're pretty much solid up front. And that's kind of my ideology. That's what I definitely would recommend. In terms of going with a goalkeeper, of course, with that kind of budget, you do want a solid team. We've gone with Courtois, probably one of the most underrated goalkeepers this game. I do think height this year is probably one of the most important facts. If you don't have height in your team, I think you're very much in trouble. I think height is very much needed in this year. I think the reach, especially of, I would say, shots in near post, the taller the goalkeeper, the better generally they perform. There isn't really a standout goalkeeper like ter Stegen like there was last year. The 7 feature rate is important, but not that important for this year, and I think Courtois definitely does fit that role. Going for the most conventional and I suppose you can say somewhat traditional defensive line, we've gone with Mendy. Mendy's of course one of the best left backs in the game. Can play left back, can play right back. Can be playing right back in the game, I'll show you that later on. But definitely for his price, no one else really comes near. And going to the other side, we have Varane, another cheap card. Well, not cheap, but for what you can offer, I think it's a cheap card. I'm not really a big fan of actual traditional centre-backs. I think full-back centre-back, and thankfully most of the community is finally realising that full-back centre-back are just so more cost-effective and much better, because obviously you lack the agility and balance with some of these major players, but obviously with those stats, they're very much middle. But I'll explain to you how Mendy plays left-back in game, or right-back should I say. To link the left-hand side with the League One, we have gone with Kamara. Another very good card that I actually have in my team. Another very underrated card. I've been using him for such a long time now. He's played so many games, played 201. I bought him for 80k. He costs around 40k now. You can get a Marvi if you wanted. That's another idea. I think it costs like 30k now. You can get a Marvi with a more cheaper front. But I prefer Kamara just because of that agility and balance. That agility balance really does make it more beneficial on that left-hand side. And linking it all together, we have Bamba. Now, I actually have the in-form Bamba. You can, if for example you're on a budget, you can of course go for the, I suppose you can say, there's the 82 version, and of course there's the 84 version. Now I've got the 82 version. If you can afford the 84 version, of course go use him. But I think again he's another exceptional card, and I'll explain to you how this all works out in game. So Dos Santos now will get 8 chemistry with a blink from Nedved. So how does it work on the right hand side? Now for the rest of the budget we've gone with, I would say, just a pure meta, because we want realistically fast winger. Let's be honest, there's only a couple of wingers that are better than Rashford in the game, and they are completely and way out of our budget. Rashford is a player that I've been having in and out of my team. And the reason why he's been mainly out is because obviously I packed Eto very much recently, so I got very, very lucky with my pack luck. But otherwise, Rashford's been in the team, and I think, I'll be honest, I don't think there's anyone really much better than Rashford for that wing type position. For that price, and not 400k, you're not going to find anyone better. Linking him together with the player that I'll play next to, of course, Dos Santos will be Bruno Fernandez. I think another good card. You know, I think even as a centre mid, you might see him be used a lot with his shadow. So you're playing him next to Dos Santos, two very attacking, creative centre mids that can both do the defensive duties, both high work rate, so they can both track back. And of course, if you put a shadow on him, when he's got full chemistry, he does get his stand tackling up and interceptions up very high, as long with his defensive awareness, to make two very good attacking centre mids. And to link their whole team together, we've gone with Wan-Bissaka. Now Wan-Bissaka will actually be our right back, or so should I say, a right back now for chemistry purposes. But in game, he'll be moving into a centre back position, and that is a team. So you might be thinking, hang on, Neil, what's this with chemistry? Well, this is how it looks in game. So we go over to FUTBin. This is how it looks. So it's about 1.7, 1.5 on Xbox. By the time you're watching this video, probably 1.5, probably a bit cheaper. So that's why the title says 1.5. If you are on a budget and you really can't afford this, what you can do here is you can downgrade this Bamba to the 82, as I mentioned, and you can get the regular Nedved. If you don't want to choose Nedved, there's other players you can get instead. Nedved, I just think, is the best. Even off chemistry, I don't think there's anyone else better than Nedved. But you can get some like the cheaper players. You can get, for example, like Stoichkov, a bit more expensive. But he can play that cam role. Yes, I do know he has a 3-star weak foot, and I'm very much aware of that. But he's actually a very good player. So you put him in that cam role, as long as he's not in the striker position, he's completely fine. That will take your chemistry just a tad bit higher if you really want, and you can maximize it. But as I said, I would stick with Nedved. I think he's honestly that good and that much of a game changer. So how would it look like in games? Obviously, the whole right hand side gets full chemistry par Rashford. Rashford's fine on 6. Mendy will get 7, and Bamba will get 7, and Dos Santos will get 8. As long as Neymar's on full chemistry, that's all that really matters. So how does it work with a 4-2-3-1? We're playing a 4-2-3-1. You saw Neymar's stats. Neymar goes as striker. Rashford and Bamba go on a wing, and I think Bamba, for his price, no one really comes near to him. And then you have Dos Santos and Bruno Fernandez. Now, Bruno Fernandez will have 10 chemistry. This is the thing. When it comes to CDMs, yes, I agree defensive stats are important, but it's not the all and do and die all. Now, normally I would pair someone like Bruno Fernandez with someone like Kante, who's more defensive minded. In fact, you can get Sissoko on the right hand side instead of Bruno Fernandez if you want to, and get Son right wing. You can get that whole Tottenham side if you want to. But when you put a shadow on Bruno Fernandez, he becomes an exceptional player, even on 8 chemistry, the chemistry that he is on. So you don't really need to have, I would say, a CDM per se. Most of the time, you know, the way CDMs are this year, they're a bit nerfed. They're not as defensive as they probably were last year. So in terms of in-game, a 4-2-3-1, both of them, I'll probably say both of them on stay back, or maybe you can say the most attacking one, maybe have Bruno Fernandez or even Dos Santos on balance if you want to. But that's how I play a 4-2-3-1. Wan-Bissaka, one of the best centre-backs, again, best centre-backs I've used in this game. This guy's better than, I would say, even Varane. When you use him in centre-back, you'll know what I'm talking about, off using for a long time. In terms of the 4-4-2, the exact same thing. Who would go striker in a 4-4-2? Well, of course, you want both 5-star weak foots in striker. If I can find 4-4-2, that is. And we want, of course, both 5-star weak foots in striker. And then we put Bamba on a wing, and it's kind of the same thing over there. Of course, Nedved and Neymar both have 5-star weak foots each. If we are going to go over to the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, I would say Nedved goes in that cam role, Rashford in striker, and then what I would probably say is Bruno Fernandez in CDM, and then what I would say is put Dos Santos. Now, what you can do, if you want, you can get someone else more defensive minded. So in the formation, you can get someone like Andre here. So do you know how, remember I mentioned on the left hand side, you do have, of course, the French links that goes to Kamara, and that goes to Neymar, and that goes to Varane and Mendy. But if you do this, then that way you can play this in a starting formation, and then you can use Bruno Fernandez and Dos Santos if you want to. But that is just one variation if you would like to do that. And if we're going to go to my 3-5-2, this is for using my tactics, of course, my favorite 3-5-2, the formation I'm using ever so much. You can do something like this. I think Rashford has to go on the wing, and then what I'd probably do is put Dos Santos in cam. Then what I'll probably do is I'll put Kamara over to the left hand side, and that's probably the way I'll do it. You can swap these around if you want. Sorry, I don't like that. Sorry, hang on. Bamba on that side, and I'd probably put, I think I did, was it Kamara or Mendy? I don't know which one I chose. I think I tried Kamara and CDM. The better agility and balance did help a little bit, but Mendy was just a bit faster, so I put him as a right back. That's probably the way I would do it in 3-5-2. And it's a bit debatable, but I think Rashford and Neymar definitely goes to striker. Finally, if you do play the 4-3-3, especially my false 9 variation, I wouldn't recommend this with my false 9 formation, just because I think there's too many marksman players in the team, and you can put Neymar on a wing, but I don't think it's worth it. If you're playing a traditional 4-3-3, you can most definitely go with something like this, and you can play one of the, the left centre mid, more attacking. If you're playing my false 9, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you were going to use my false 9, you could do it like that. But again, I wouldn't really recommend it just because there's so many marksman players in the team, and it's probably not worth it. You probably might even go as far as by saying by putting Rashford on the wing. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this formation video. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, and obviously this Dos Santos card, I wanted to build around him. I think even if you can't afford this team, and let's say you're just watching this just for fun, I would say definitely consider doing this card even as a substitute. If you can get him on one link in a 4-3-3 like I did with Nedved, I think with 8 chemistry, very much makes one of the best centre mids in the game. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you on twitch.tv/NealGuides again. Link down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.